All right, we're in the more fun area of the hangar here. And it looks like we got the F-22 Raptor. And I don't know what the hell that is that's hanging above. I'm gonna have to look for a sign, but that's pretty amazing looking. I don't remember seeing this one up above last year when I was here. And I'm not quite sure what that is. But there's a sign over here pointing to the upwards. So I'm gonna guess this is some kind of drone. Yep. It is the Bird of Prey Stealth Technology Demonstrator. It's a single-seat stealth technology demonstrator. That's crazy. And they named it after the Star Trek Bird of Prey. How awesome is that? That's pretty sick. And of course, we have the Raptor. This thing is massive and beautiful at the same time. I kind of wish they had a warbird sitting next to this to show you just how big this is in comparison. I've seen F-14s up close, and I'm going to say this is probably as long as an F-14. It is really big. It's absolutely massive. And over here is where it can deploy its weapons. So it's got these little pop-out stations with, I'm not sure if that's an AMRAAM or a Sidewinder. I'm going to say it's probably an AMRAAM. I don't see any distinguishing marks on that. I don't have my glasses on either. That's pretty awesome. And it's just massive. It really is. It doesn't get much better than this. Here's some of the little cutaways on the internal weapons bay on it. And then on the engine, it talks about how it can super cruise at supersonic speed without using its afterburners. A little bit about its radar and its stealth technology. Although now that we have the F-35, you don't hear much about the Raptor anymore. It's almost the left-behind technology, you know? As we enter the Vietnam era part of the wing here at the National U.S. Air Force Museum. And it looks like first up is the F-105G Thunder Chief. If only we can get one of these in DCS World. This is where we start getting into some pretty cool technology. It's too bad I can't get up there into that cockpit and look around. This is where things start to get really interesting. The pilot starts to get more of a workload. All right, some more of the Cold War fun and Vietnam era planes. This here is an F-111, pretty massive. And of course the A7d Corsair Ii. This is one that I'm really looking forward to in DCS World that they've been working on for a while. And I can't wait to see it implemented. This is going to be a lot of fun. Looks like this one's outfitted with drop tanks and some rockets. And then over there behind it is a surface-to-air missile. I think it's an SA-2 that sits back there. But this thing is massive. Look how long this thing is. And that is this. This is where they got the idea for the F-14 Tomcat. And there's another shot of the A7 from the front. And this F-111 is from the 474th TFW Roadrunners. F-117A Aardvark from General Dynamics. And if I remember correctly, if this thing ever had to eject that cockpit, the whole damn thing comes off, kind of like a spaceship. And they can land in a pod-like capsule. Pretty interesting stuff. Now, here's the first of many F-4 Phantoms that they have here at Wright Patterson Air Force Base, U.S. Air Force National Museum. And these things have to be seen to be fully appreciated, because talk about a massive plane. That F-22 was pretty big, but the F-4 Phantom, man, it's a lot of plane. And in comparison, you're talking, what, maximum speed of 1,400 miles per hour, a range of about 1,750 miles with an operating ceiling of almost 60,000 feet. It could carry up to 16,000 pounds of ordnance. And it's powered by two General Electric J-79 GE-15s that has 17,000 pounds of thrust each. That is an impressive plane. And this is one of, I think, 3 that they have here. And then up above us is the YF-5A Freedom Fighter, which is basically a variant of the F-5, which of course in Top Gun was known as the MiG-28. Pretty cool. And they also have a lot of this stuff along the walls that I really haven't been covering, but you can learn a lot of cool things about real-life pilots. Brigadier General Robin Olds, combat leader and fighter ace, and there's a whole bunch of detail about him. And then there's this fantastic art print right here. It's called Phantom Strike by Robert Taylor. Just outstanding. There's so many little tidbits of information that can be learned here at the U.S. Air Force Museum. Now this one has written on it, the Memphis Belle II. Now this is kind of interesting. Here's another big-ass plane. I don't recognize this one right off the bat. It's an F-105D. Okay. Pretty cool. Now here's one that you recognize right off the bat, just from the front view. That air intake gives it away, doesn't it? This is the MiG-21 PF Fish Bed D. Absolutely beautiful plane. Kind of a crappy paint scheme, but, you know, is what it is. There's a drop tank down below. Looks like it's carrying some sort of IR missile. Next up is, I believe, the MiG-15. No, it's a 17. MiG-17F. That one had me fooled because from a distance away, this almost looked like a MiG-15 to me. But this one has a much better paint job on it. The MiG-17F. All right, for all you rotor heads out there, here's the Sikorsky Hh-3e. And this is the Jolly Green Giant. This is one big-ass helicopter. And look at the probe sticking out of this guy. Pretty impressive. And then up above us is another smaller chopper. This here is the the Cayman HH-43B Husky. It's like a little guy. It's got a guy dangling from it. Never really saw that one before, but I think it looks pretty cool. And that has U.S. Air Force markings on it. And of course, here we go with the Vietnam era Bell UH-1P Iroquois. Of course, we all know this as the Huey, and it's a pretty cool diorama here of some soldiers. Looks like they're trying to get on the chopper and take off. And everybody loves the Huey. Fantastic diorama. And then here we have, I believe this was used as a forward observer, a North American Rockwell OV-10A Bronco. Now here we have a B-26K by Douglas. I don't remember this one, but look at those guns. That's gonna put a hurting on somebody. And what do we have over here? This is a B-57B Canberra, a Martin B-57B Canberra. I don't remember this one either, to be honest. Although there's a lot of planes you can find from this era that are short-lived. I think the technology was just moving along at such a fast pace that some of these probably didn't see service very long. And of course, right here is the end of the wing of the B-52 that they have sitting in this hangar that is just massive. They have it kind of cocked sideways in this hangar so it fits, and it literally goes from one side of the hangar all the way to the other. This here is an F-100F Super Sabre. It's another really long plane.